Hello world, how are you all doing? I hope you're all great. And today we're back with another stream, and obviously it's going to be, as you can see, open focus timer again today. We are already at part 19. This is the summary from last week. And hi Matt Damon, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. And also thank you very much for following Matt Damon 198 and also Yotab1TE. Thank you for following. So before we get right started, I want to quickly go through what we have done last week, so I myself remember as well. Fine, and you? Yeah, I'm great. How are you doing? Well, how was your day? Okay, so we want to basically summarize, I'll go quickly through what we did last week, so I know where to start. And first, the progress we made last week, we turned the category text in category settings into an editable text field, so now they are editable. Then implemented create new category button and implemented new edit category sheet view plus logic. And the next steps we had documented here are also clear. We're going to copy that over and we're going to go through that later. And the problems and blockers, one problem was Axel was crashing a lot when we asked SwiftUI previous to refresh, so I use Option Command P for that, and it was crashing a few times. I can remember that. So let's create the new one from this week. Actually very good. That's great to hear. Nice. This is part 19 today, and these are the steps we want to do. So yeah, what games are you playing, Matt Damon? Let's talk about games. I think you're a gamer, right? I'm sure you play Fortnite. Okay, next steps. Refresh list when new category is added. Make the icon. Let's first run the app actually. I want to see the app. But before we get right started, let me quickly go through the socials here. So in case you don't know yet, I do have a Medium account and I write, and I already had talked about this last week, and I have completed the article about hardware requirements for iOS development. And if you're interested in starting iOS development, here you have like a summary of what is needed and also some FAQ section with some frequently asked questions. And you can see like where it starts at $850 more or less. You can also get the refurbished one, so a used one officially from Apple to save some money. And also you can even save even more money on these things. But these are like, I think, good devices. I think will cost you, if you buy them all new, will cost you $850. That's where you can start iOS development. And I go through other options as well, not only the cheapest option, also cheapest mobile Mac, and also the best value Mac, and that's around $2,500, which is also basically what I have myself. So if you're interested in that, make sure that you follow me on jihad.medium.com, or just clap here. You can clap multiple times, by the way. Some people don't know that. Then make sure to follow me on Twitter. I'm always posting some tips here. For example, recently I had this tip where I showed in a GIF that you can get in the sidebars if you're working full screen by just hovering at the edge of the screen. That was also something that I knew that actually sometime, but I forgot about it and I rediscovered it recently, so I thought I'd post it. And also make sure to follow my YouTube channel if you don't do that already. Just search for Flying Dev, and that's that. But let's get back to our app. So I'm gonna start the app now. So what games are you playing? Yes, it's not a game, I think. I mean, I think there was a game called No or something like that. What was that name? Oh, just a sec. No game, something like that. No, it's not no. Something with no. You had to press no buttons or something like that. Some weird game, that was it. Fortnite. Okay, do you play anything else than Fortnite, or is Fortnite your main game? I can also ask in German, I think that's suited to use. Spielst du auch was anderes als Fortnite? Oder ist es ein Hauptspiel? Okay. So this seems not to be built. I hope it's building. I usually don't end a stream with an unbuilding, not building state. And yeah, it looks like it's building. Okay, so we have the sidebar, and I think we were working on the settings, and here the categories. And I think that's what we made last time. We made this editable, and I think it also automatically saves the changes, so we don't have to press save anywhere. And we have this button, it doesn't work. We have this button, and something is happening. Ah, yeah, there we go. So we can add a new one, new category. Oh, it's hanging quite a bit. Let's just use new. See, I think it's hanging because we were using all the different the icons provided by SF Save symbol. Yeah, so by what's the name? SF symbols. Yeah, by SF symbols, and obviously, if you start the SF symbols app, which is provided by Apple, there's really a lot in there. Fortnite is my main game. No, not really. Okay, that's fair enough. Maybe you should try new games as well, but I can understand if Fortnite is fun for you, no need to change that game. So if you look into this is like 3,300 symbols, and that's not all, because some of them also have like monochrome hierarchical variants and things like that. It's thousands. Let's just say it's thousands, and this list here, or this screen, needs to re-render whenever I make a press of any key, and that's what's causing this to be very slow. So I'm sure there are like multiple solutions to this, but the easiest solution is just to reduce the number of elements in here. And I can also see we're just showing the name of the icon, and we're not showing the icon itself. So that's also something that I want to fix here. And I'm not sure if we can fix it easily, but we will try to fix it. So if I say this, and you choose magenta, for example, and let's use quote bubble and save. It is saving. I can't see it here yet, so this is also something you want to refresh. So these are, I guess, the to-dos we need to do. Let's see if anything is missing. Refresh list when new category is added. That's what we just saw. Make the icon of symbol show in picker. Yeah. Make the icon and color of categories show in picker. True, that's also missing. Provide a custom list of SS symbols for better performance. Implement delete category button logic. Add feature to edit. Okay, I think these things are the obvious next steps. So I think we can start with these, and maybe we just go one by one. So refresh list when new category is added. Let's do that first. And let me hide the preview here. You play Pokemon too. Which Pokemon game? Welches Spiel? Es gibt viele Pokémon-Spiele. There are many of them. Okay. So, we want to update the settings edit category view. That's correct. And let's go to the settings, edit categories module, so we can build just that. And this should help with the preview as well. And what I was posting about, by the way, on Twitter is, if I press Command 0, I mean, I can hide the sidebar here. So this is Command 0. And if I hide it, I can still access it by just going to the edge of the screen like this. Oop, I have a second screen on the left. I have to find a spot where it's not going to the right. Okay, I don't have a spot here. So it doesn't work if you're working like that, but it's similar to this here. And it's going to show if you're on a single screen. And if you're working with multiple screens, you probably don't need that anyways. But if you're like on the MacBook only, you might need that. You might find that useful. You just hover and it comes in. Also, it works also on the left if you don't have a second screen like me. Let's Go Pikachu. It's really cool. Yeah, Let's Go Pikachu. It was really cool. I played it also. I think I also had Let's Go Pikachu, not Eevee. And but I played it through, and then I was done with it, and I played later Pokemon Sword, Pokemon Schwert, and then I later also played, and that's what I'm currently currently playing, is Pokemon Legends Arceus, Pokemon Legenden Arceus. And that game is really cool. Legends Arceus, I really like that. So if you're interested in Pokemon, maybe get that one next. Maybe you can find it cheap if you buy it secondhand. Gebraucht sollte es recht günstig sein. Okay. We were at Yeah, getting the preview. And why is the preview not working? No such file. Oh, linker errors. Okay, I'm going to just do a clean build. Let's see if that helps. Wow, what a Pokemon adventure, sounds cool. Yeah, it is cool. It's different. It's different than the normal Pokemon games, but I like it. It's different in a good way. Okay, preview still doesn't work. So maybe we want to try this generate report thing again, just to see what's going on there. Because this error doesn't really help me. It says failed to put settings category view. Okay. So this diagnostics, and there's no crash log. We could have a look into logs. Is there anything that we can start? Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, then we're going to work without a preview, which is a bummer. But then we can also hide this, and basically what we want to do is we want to refresh the list of so just go to the view again. We want to refresh this list, and this is inside task type. So we are in categories. What's that for music, by the way? It's really weird sounds. Go to the next one. You should play lo-fi and not chill. Okay. So, we want to refresh this list, and we have here a form. I'm thinking that this is already added categories, category view. It's different from categories, which is this whole thing, and added category I think is just this here. Right, task type, project. These are like there must be a for each or something here with view store, or maybe it is here. Yeah, for each category group, it's calling into settings categories. Anyway, I think this is the list of edit category. Wait, I have to find out what we are having here. So we have here a specific. This is the edit category view. That's what is shown when we click this button. So this view is what we have here. But what we want to edit now should have a list of category groups exactly. And here we have a view, and we have a picker for each. We have a VStack, but where's a segmented? This is a segmented picker. So this is our view up top here. And I just noticed that we can't cancel this. So there's no cancel button here. Maybe we should quickly add that. Let's go to the view. Let's add a button here. And we just want to create a new one, but where's the one with the role? I think there's an init method where you can exactly specify an action, label, and the role. The action, oh no, not okay. Maybe we just go with the default one. Just title and action, and the title is going to be, let's translate that right away. And it's a cancel action. I'm not sure, maybe we already have cancel here. Let's check. Global action cancel. No, we don't. So let's add cancel first. And it's going to be global action cancel because we're going to reuse it in multiple places, I'm sure. And let's start with German and English. Next is the action. And before we continue, let's quickly new version here. Let me remind me later. Let's go back here. And I want to quickly run Barty Crouch and SwiftGen. And I have to run it from the open focus timer. There we go. Okay. So now it should have replaced. Oh yeah, we ran the wrong one first, so we have to now go in here manually. There we go. And the action that we want to do, I think we're missing that for now. So what's that's a save button press action, and we're going to add a cancel button pressed action. We're going to handle that action in the reducer. Cancel when cancel button pressed is happening. We want to hide the view, and maybe we have a binding there. Let me check quickly. We have it this way, so whenever this, oh no, it's not that. I have a different idea. So basically, we don't have to do anything in here. Instead, I will just do nothing, but it's going to be handled by the parent reducer. And the parent reducer here in this case is the view that is showing the added category view, and that's here. So we have here added category as an action, and we already say set added category is presented here, and we've gotta have to do we can already see we are overriding when save is happening. We're already saying, hey, make it unpresented, and we want to do the same if cancel is clicked. So we can also go in here and say cancel button is pressed, and it's now going to also hide and call into is presented setting to false, so it's no longer presented when cancel is clicked. Yeah, but we don't have to do anything because we don't have to save the data. So this should be it, and now we should be able to call into this and just say view store, send the action, cancel button pressed. Now we should have a cancel button. Let's check that quickly if that's working. I must go now, but I will come back, I think. Yeah, sure. No worries. Thank you for being here, and have a nice time. See you later. See ya. Okay, let's go into preferences, categories. Let's add a new category. And it's still showing. Oh, but we see a new cancel button, and it also works. But I want them to be shown side by side, and I want to have cancel on the left and save on the right. So let's make it an HSEG. And that's a bummer that our previews are not working, because otherwise we could see the changes live here on the side. And here we are. Create new category. When we click cancel, it cancels out. So that works, and that's actually something we could commit. So is it worth it? And yeah, it's adding that comment because we were running it from the wrong place. Let me fix that as well. Okay, let's stage everything. And quickly check if everything is looking good. Yeah, looks nice. Add cancel button to edit category view. Okay. Okay, so let's go next to the refresh, and we are here in the view. And this is the picker here. This is the for each. This goes by each category group of the selected group and chooses all categories. and then it shows the categories. And this is basically the data, the categories by group. This thing is the data that we want, and whenever this refreshes, we want to refresh the view. And it's just a simple property here, and the wild stun key appears. Let's try to catch that. So what we want to do is whenever this changes categories by groups, that we want to refresh that view. And there is a way to do that in SwiftUI that's quite easy. So I'm going to try it on the for each here. I'm just going to say on change off, and then we're going to access the same thing that we access here, which is view store dot categories by group. And I guess when the selected group changes, but we could also refresh whenever this changes at all. In this case, I think it's going to be easier. And here we get the new value for this, which we don't really need. So we're going to ignore that. Instead, we're going to just tell our view to refresh the view. And how can we do that? Okay, how can we refresh this whenever that changes? Okay, so we have to, I think we have to load the data from the store. So how are we doing this right now? Okay, this might not actually work, because if this was refreshing, then it should already update, right? If the data here was changing, it should automatically update anyway. Instead, we have to tell somehow whenever that changes to update this. And I think we can also, we can again go through the parent there. And we are already in the reducer. We already have this edit category, and we are already saying when save button is pressed, we're setting the category is presented to false. We could do something similar here, but more details. So I'm going to get out this cancel action, because in that case we're just going to hide the view. But in the case of save, we want to do two things. And I want to move this logic to the action handler. So let me quickly create the edit category save button pressed method there. There we go. And I'm just going to call it here edit category save button pressed, passing the state. Now what we can do here is first we want to make sure that we're still hiding it at the end of all the action here. So at the end we're going to still return the set edit category is presented false. But before doing that, we can now basically reload the data from the database. And the question is how this is loaded here. Now let me go to the state. So existing category group. Oh, this is the edit category. So did I put it in the wrong place? No. This is the state I want to see. So we have this here, and you can see it's being loaded here inside the initializer of the category state. I'm also not sure if this is the best place to load the data, because usually logic should be in the reducer, or in our case the action handler. So we might have to, or we might want to actually move this out, which could also solve the error handling. Handle cases where no group exists properly. The problem with moving it out is that now then we have to make these things optional and then set it like on appear. So I'm just going to, for now, I'm just going to copy this. Go to the action handler and just refresh the data here. So we're saying instead of self, we're saying state.groups as in category groups and state.categories by group. Fetching them here, and the context is obviously the env managed object context. This should work. This should work as well for group in state.category groups. State. Everything else should be pretty much the same. And error handling, yeah, I'll keep it that way as well. But this should build. Let's check that first. Otherwise we might have to import some things. But it looks like it's building. Yes, so let's run it. And now let's see what happens when we click save, if it refreshes or not. So we have a list here. I want to add a new category. I'm just going to call it new. Let's go with cyan and puzzle piece and save. There we go. So now it's refreshing. So that is now completed. And we can basically move this to the done section. Also, we have add cancel button to edit category view. There we go. Let's commit that as well. Let's commit each small change here. Refresh this when new category is added. I think that's fine. Let's push these changes and go back. So next was make the icon of symbols show in picker. I think that's not as easy as I might think. So I'm going to start with maybe with the performance problem, but that also could take time. Let's start with the icon color of category show in picker. So we wanna, oh wait, show in picker, show in picker. Sounds like the same thing, but I think one of that means showing it here, and I think that's easy to do. So I'm just going to show it at the start. And if you want to edit it, I will also have to add an edit button. I might actually want to remove the text editor here and just add an edit button instead, because we could just then show the same view as we are showing here. And I think that kind of makes sense. So I'm going to remove that text edit and make it an edit button and show the color and icon here. Let's do that quickly. So let's add first an edit button besides the existing trash button, which I think should be here. Oh no, this is the edit view. It should be here somewhere. This is the delete button. Let's add an edit button. So it's going to be delete category button pressed, edit. Category button pressed. Image, we're just going to use the pencil. Foreground color, let's just do a yellow. We could change it later. This might not actually work in dark mode, right? Red is kind of always working. Yellow might not. Let's just not give it any foreground color. Let's just keep it at default, which is white and black, I think. And now we have to add this action. So we can just copy the existing delete action and just rename it to be edit. And likewise in the reducer, we can just copy the delete action here and just rename it to edit. And lastly, the same in the action handler. This is, and the method currently is not implemented, so we are going to implement that later as well. So now we have the edit category button pressed, and we also want to add now some logic here, which is basically, I mean, we have the state here, edit category state, and basically we just want to create a new one. And this is state.edit category state. Let's initialize one, and this time we're going to have not only the group, which is the state.select the group, but also we're going to pass a category. So when we click to the create new button, which I think is also, it should be somewhere here. Can't see it though. Anyways, now we can pass the category that was chosen to be edited. We don't have to do anything else than that, I think. So this should already show the edit category view with the category and have a cancel and save button there. And the save button should also refresh because we just implemented the refresh when save is clicked. So let's see if that works as expected. I go here, I want to edit this one here, and we can already see the button. I kind of don't like the padding here. Maybe it should be closer to each other. So let's already change that. Looks like we have an h-stack spacing 20. Seems to be too much. Let's just make it 10. But other than that, let's change this to big A at the start. So I'm clicking edit. And it is showing me the right thing. I'm going to make this a big A, save. And it looks like I created a new one, so that's a problem. That's not what we want. That's bad. Let's check the edit action handler. Save button pressed. It's simply always creating a new one, and that's not right. Instead, we want to say, let's go to the state here. There can be an existing category. Changing data when is not yet implemented. Okay, we have the warning. Let's remove it and let's implement that. So we're going to say if let existing category state.existing category and else. In the else case, we're going to create a new one like we did before. But in the existing category, in this state, we're just going to save the new data to the category. So we're just going to say, although do we actually have to do that? Let me check how the changes. Okay, so we have the data local here in this view. We're not changing it directly the object. So we have name, color, and icon. And we want to say existing category.name equals state.name, existing category color equals state.color, and existing category icon. Nope, isn't there icon? Okay, there's icon image and icon symbol name. Which one do we need to set? I think symbol name. I could just go for icon dot raw value, I think, right? And that should be it. Now we're changing these things, and there's okay, color is just a get only, instead color hex code, and we just have to call it to hex string. And that should change the values, and then because we're saving the managed object context right after that, it should save this. So let's try it now. Okay, let's go into our app to test it. And we're going to change this and make the D big this time. Let's click save. And this works. Nice. Also, let's also double check that creating a new one actually still works. So let's call this ooh. Okay, we have to work on the performance thing quite fast. And it's adding you. That's nice. Okay, this works. And we have basically added the edit button, and it does work. But we want to make this also non-editable. We could commit the change right now. But I'm going to put it all together in one. And we're going to show in the edit, in this view, we're going to show now also the icon and the color. So the question is, how are we showing them here? And we're just using the picker. And we could actually do the same thing here, showing the text field, color picker, and picker. And maybe we could disable them. Maybe let's try that. Although that's probably much more complicated than needed. Yeah, let's not try that. Instead, I'm going to simplify this by just saying turn this text into a text field. Yeah, it is already a text field, but we want to make it a text again. I'm just going to use text. And what we want to show here... Why is the auto-completion not working? Anyway, we're going to show here view store dot category dot name. No, we're using this one here, not the view store category. Category dot name. A wild Amora appeared. Let me try a great ball. Okay. So we no longer need the category name change thing. We can just remove this, because the editing is going to happen in the edit. Where is it here? Category name changed. There it is. And the action handler as well. Okay, so we no longer need this view, and the font we could still keep at headline. There we go. So the text is changed. We also want to show the color and an icon though, and the icon should be easy enough. So we could actually go for a label instead of a text and just pass the category name here. And just pass the symbol here of the category, which is going to be, let's go to category quickly. Icon symbol name. How can I get an SF symbol here? Okay, let's actually import SF save symbols. And let's provide a, oh no, not here, in the extension, of course. Category extension. Icon image. And we want to have the symbol. Actually, we could also just get the image. Maybe that's the easy way. We could also just get a label directly. Here, we're just creating a label with self.name and a save symbol with raw value, which is going to be self.icon symbol name. And let's forward wrap everything here. And then we could just say category dot label. This should work. And lastly, we need to show the color, and I'm just going to use a rounded rectangle here. Rounded rectangle, corner radius, I don't really care. Let's try 5. And I'm just going to set its foreground color to the categories color. I hope that builds. Build failed, of course. Label requires system symbol. Okay, we're just going to create it in place, not here. Let's try to build again. Foreground color. And it can't unwrap. Non-optional type SF symbol. Okay. There we go. And that's looking interesting. So we have a round rectangle, but it's not how I expected it to be. I just wanted to have like a fixed width one. And I'm just going to make sure that the when it resizes, that the aspect ratio is how can I make that? Aspect ratio is 1. Content mode is fit. Let's try again. So this should make sure it stays a square. And there we go. So we have the different colors. We are seeing the icons. One thing I don't like about label is that, as you can see, the names are not really aligned here because each icon can have a different width. And that's something why I never use label when I want to have these things aligned. Instead, I have to use an H stack actually, like this. H stack. Or maybe we are already in an H stack, so I don't need that H stack. Instead, I'm going to use an image. And we have category dot image, I think, or icon image. There we go. And we have the text category name. And for both, maybe we should put them in a group so we can apply the same font on both of them. And this works in SwiftUI, so you can apply something like font on the group, and all sub views will also inherit from that. So we are showing the image, and the thing that I want to do here is I want to give this a fixed width, and I want to say frame width or max width. Let's try width first. So width, I don't know, 32, so every icon fits in there. And let's also make sure that the aspect ratio is fit, that it doesn't scale and stretch the icon, instead keeps the aspect ratio. Let's have a look again. And this is much better, although it's too wide for me, but now you can see it is now aligned. And that's what I was talking about. That's why I rarely use label in lists. Like, it just doesn't work for me because it doesn't align the icons, which is a bummer. I wish it would do it automatically. Maybe it does it in like a form or something, but technically I think we are even in a form. Maybe not here, I'm not sure. Anyways, let's just play around with this a little bit to make it look nicer. I really wish the previous would work. This is about right. Maybe I want to change the color of the icon to this color. Does that make sense? Maybe, but maybe not. I'm not sure. I'm just going to keep it for now. Cool. This is about what I expected. And now we can go into edit. Let's just make sure everything works. So if I change this to green, this to Pentagon fill, and added a 1 at the end and save this. And it works. It also... Okay, so the sorting changed because I added something, but everything worked exactly as I expected to work. Nice. That's cool, and pretty much what we wanted to do here. Show icon and color, and yeah, it's a list, I think. Plus add edit button. Hello Logrim 0102, welcome to the stream. Does anyone know how to access all text box in VBA user form Excel? I have no idea about Excel, VBA. If anyone can help you in the chat, make sure to jump in, but I can't, I'm sorry. I'm not an Excel user, and VBA forms especially not. Show icon and color in list, add edit, add edit button for categories. Thank you for following, Lord Grim. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really help you. I don't even know really what a VBA form is. I just know it's some kind of scripting in Excel, I think, right? Where you can like add some logic, maybe something like, yeah, access all text box. I really don't know. I would help you if I could. If you have other questions related to iOS development or just Swift questions, if you're a Swift developer, make sure to give them to me. And also, if you're a Swift developer, send me your code. I'm really looking forward to helping out or reviewing code or refactoring code. Nobody has sent me any code yet, so make sure to send it. Just create a GitHub gist and send a link in the chat, and I will make sure to look at it. So we have just committed because we have again completed one thing, and let's document that in our Notion document. And that basically fixes, make the icon of symbols show in picker. I think that's this here. And that was about, okay, this is about when we go into the edit view, and we have to fix the performance really. You don't see the icons here. And a simple thing that we could do just to show the selected icon is to add a image view here. But I do want to see it in the picker as well. And the question is it possible to provide a custom view here in the picker? I'm using this because of school purposes. Ah, okay. I really don't remember. VBA form axle access text box. That was your question, right? How to insert and use text box and VBA user form. Okay. I don't know, maybe you just didn't know how to search very well, but I'm sure that these things kind of seem to answer exactly the question that you were having. I'm not sure if this is going to help you, but let me share the link with you if I can. Where's the link? Oh, let's search again. Manually. Ah, it does have the link. So let me send you the link. Maybe that helps, I don't know. Does learning data structure and algo helpful in being a developer? Data structures and algorithms are definitely like the basics of developing, but I think there is a difference between being a developer where you develop algorithms, where you develop, basically you develop tools for other developers. If you're doing that kind of thing where you're not developing an app, you're developing things for developers who are going to develop an app. These people, they definitely need to know about data structures, algorithms, because they're going to need that all the time. For example, if you're developing a database, the database is a tool that other developers are going to use later, or you're developing a framework or something like that, then you will need that all the time. But if you're going to be an app developer, you don't really need to know, especially about algorithms, you don't need to know many of them. Like if you know them, it's better because then you understand how things work in the background. And if you really need something for a specific feature or for an app where you actually need to improve performance or things like that, then yes, it might be useful. But 99% of the time, you're not going to use algorithms, write algorithms yourself. You're just going to use algorithms written by other developers. So in the framework, so for example, if I want to sort, for example, when I sort this list of strings here, let me show you the code of that. So let me show you, there's a lot of sorting algorithms that you will learn when you start learning algorithms like insertion sort, merge sort, things like that. But the thing is, as a developer, I today never ever write insertion sort, merge sort, or something like that. Instead, it is already written by Apple in the frameworks. And what I just do, so let me actually show you the exact code of that is in the action handler. What I do is I just call this function sorted, and we can even jump to the implementation. You can see it's implemented by Apple, and we can't even see the code. We don't see the code of how it's written. We just see the method's name, and we have a lot of documentation, which is telling us like what it does and things like that and how to use it. And this is what's much more important. You need to be able to learn about methods that are written into the framework, and that's much more important as a developer than learning algorithms and data structures. For data structures, I think the basics you need to learn, like set, array. I think these two, you need to understand the difference. and also dictionary, which is how it's called here. It's also called hash in some other languages. There are some data structures you should know. You will need them. But most of the time you shouldn't need to know about data structures and algorithms in detail. But we're going to do a break now. Want to take a peek at my HTTP util? I'll check that right after the break. So I'll be back in 5 minutes. See you in 5 minutes. Okay, I'm back. And I saw a few comments, so let me go through them. So the first one was a question by Jackson Joe Bob. So welcome to the stream, Jackson Joe Bob. And you wanted to know if I could check out your Swift HTTP framework. And I have to say, I'm sorry, I don't check out, I don't basically do marketing or something like that for frameworks I don't know yet. So I also don't do any Swift code reviews or something like that for entire frameworks. But if you do have in that framework some specific blob of code, some specific class, for example, where you just want to have me do a code review, just like a Swift, how I would write it, a kind of code review, I can do that, but I can't review entire frameworks. It's just like, it would just take too much time. So I'm sorry for that. I won't be checking out your library there, but maybe someone in the chat will, and then maybe they can give you feedback. But yeah, ping me with any part of code of that library. Just create a GitHub gist, for example, with some part of it you want to have feedback on, and I can review that. Then Lord Grim writes, I know that already. I'm planning to get a button that clear the entire user form, but it's so long to type the hard way. I'm exploring if there's a shortcut, but I think there's none. Yeah, sometimes there's none. Sometimes the shortcut is to copy the solution from someone else, and then it still saves you time, although it's more than no code, but it's still kind of a shortcut. So sometimes that's the shortcut. And yeah, that's that in the chat. Let's get back to coding here. And I believe we just had committed something here. Yes. And we have updated, and we want to make the icon of symbols show in the picker. Yeah, thank you. I hope that helps. I mean, I didn't do much. Provide a custom list of SM. Yeah, I think I will do the performance thing first, because that's like a clear thing to do. Although if we do this here, we might change how we show the picker. Okay, let's first figure out. Now I'm going to use the Swift Companion app here. So if you don't know about the app, I talked about it already. It's not free. It costs, I think, $50 or something, but it's like a shortcut. Oh, Vita Apps, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? How's your day? So I want to basically search for if we have a way to show in a picker a custom view. So let's just see if we have any things that we can do there. And the day after that. A normal picker. And basically this app is basically adding documentation to things where there's no documentation from Apple. And it just has more examples and code you can copy directly. So we can see we can pass content, and as you can see, there is actually a way to showing an image here. So maybe if we just use image and text instead of a label, I think, which we are using right now. Let me check that. We are here in the view. And yes, we are showing a label. So maybe if we show, instead of a label, we show an image and a text, maybe it will work. So let's try that out. Because it's possible that magically it just hides the icons from labels in pickers. So instead we're going to go through the image. I think we have the image already, symbol. Oh no, we don't. Image with system symbol, and then we pass a symbol. And we're creating a text with the symbol's raw value. to tag that thing with symbol. Let's see what that looks like. If that works, then that's it. Then we have solved that issue as well. Let's see. I click edit. Yes, there you go. So now we can see both the icon and the name, and also you can see that everything is aligned properly. So there are no width issues, and there are so many of them. So that's that, and yeah, selecting that worked. Oops. If we save that, it should also show here. Nice. That's done. But it's not really worth a commit. We can do more. Make the icon of symbols show in picker. That works now. Oops. Next, we want to improve the performance there. Ustem Ahmed, hey Jihad, hey, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. How's the day going? Okay, now we have what we want to do now is we want to restrict the number of icons we show here. This is really a lot, and I'm not sure how I can restrict it the best way, but one thing that is obvious is you can see that sometimes there is like a dot fill option, and maybe we should just like delete all the multiple option variants, and it should already improve this a bit. Another thing that we could do is everything that has like more than maybe 3 or 4 names here, they're going to be similar. Look at this, for example. This is diamond, and then there are like different kinds of diamonds, and maybe or for example here there's like digital crown, different kinds of that. Maybe we want to restrict it to just 2, and then we should have much less and more basic ones. Like the basic ones like fairy, film, I think they just have a length of 1. Let's go with, maybe we should just restrict to 1. Let's see how many we will have then. So we will go for this is the selection of ASF symbols, and currently we're just passing all of them. Thanks, but I feel like a little bit confused. What about you? I feel good today actually. So yeah, I'm fine. Why are you confused? Is there any problem you have? All symbols, or what is in your mind? What is yeah? What's the thing that you're thinking about that maybe is in your mind? That's what it sounds like. Okay, instead of all symbols, we want to filter. Let's try filter, and we want to filter by all, where the raw value, if we split that by the dot, and the count of the elements in there is exactly 1. So let's try this. I had an interview today with Liebherr. That's cool. So Liebherr, is that do they also have developers there? As far as I know, that's like a construction company. Or are you not related to development at all? And I was bad at data structures and algorithms. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, there's a long story there, and I'm gonna get to it in a second. Let me just check if this works. Oh, this kind of worked. Much less, but still a lot of them. I think this is actually a viable solution, so I will actually keep that. And it's also much faster now, as you can see. Still kind of slow, but that's workable. So yeah, you had an interview and they asked you about data structures and algorithms. What job was your interview for? What was like the job description? Was it for an iOS app or something like that? Because if it was an iOS app, there is actually something called, there's even a GitHub project. Whiteboard, what was it? Hiring without whiteboards. Was it that? Yeah, I think so. So there is even a movement, yes, iOS developer, there is a movement basically saying a list of companies or teams that don't do whiteboard interviews. Whiteboard is used as a metaphor and is a symbol for the kinds of CS trivia questions that are associated with bad interview practices. Whiteboards are not bad, CS trivia questions are. Using sites like HackerRank or LeetCode probably fall into a similar category. So the companies and teams listed here use interview techniques and questions that resemble day-to-day work. And this is that's what I'm talking about. For example, pairing on a real-world problem or a paid or unpaid take-home exercise. Read and contribute to our recommendations for a way to conduct better interviews. So this is basically stating that there are a lot of firms that when you apply for them, they ask you CS trivia questions, and that's about data structures, algorithms, and sometimes it's okay to do that because maybe the job is really about that. But what really matters is it going to be day-to-day work? And the questions, that's also what I agree with. The questions should be about day-to-day work, and more often than not, they are not about day-to-day work. They're really about, as you just said, data structures and algorithms. And at the end, when you work there, you just don't need data structures and algorithms. Like most of the time, not always. For iOS developers, typically you don't need to know about data structures and algorithms, and it would be much better if they just gave you, for example, a take-home exercise. For example, can you develop an app with this architecture, for example? Then you can show like, okay, you know that architecture, or you know how to learn about that architecture, and they can see how you code, they can see your Swift code. And that's also how I did it. I also did hiring. And I basically created like, please create this small board game or this small memory game kind of app. And then users could and appliers could first try to do some visual stuff that could show off what animations they know, or they can just structure their code in a good way. And basically that's how it should be done. And just as a positive mind of thing for you, Ustam Ahmed, if they did this CS trivia questions thing, probably it's also not the best company to work at. They're probably not doing all decisions in a way that makes sense, that are reasonable, because asking CS trivia questions in an interview for an iOS developer for most situations is not reasonable. So that's already some decision that they made in the company that is not that good. So maybe it's better that you not going to work there. Instead, you can have a look at the companies listed here. And they basically say that they're trying not to do that kind of thing, and maybe you will find something here. And you can also, I think, search for like, if you're in Germany, for example, you could search for Germany, you could find only German ones, things like that. So maybe this will help. Let me share that in the chat. So don't feel bad if you, if they ask me CS questions and database structure things, maybe I wouldn't have known either. I mean, I did study that, so I kind of knew it at one point, so I kind of remember some things, but I don't use that for years now, so I don't need it. And that's why it shouldn't matter. And if it matters for their process, then I think their process is also not right. Okay, so I see that we have here now, we are filtering this, but I think one performance hit here, talking about performance, and that's the kind of thing that you need to know. I think what's more important than data structures is being able to use functional programming. So for example, if you don't understand this code, that's something you should learn about, because this is really, in day-to-day work, this is really useful to be able to like filter by and then go through, this is now a symbol, SF symbol, and this SF symbol name, this is a string. No, this is a string, the raw value is a string, and I say, okay, components, so separate that string by this symbol, by this character, and then count how many of components there are, and if there's just one component, then keep it. And this is what this does. And then I have this sorted, and you have to know about these things more. I will break up interviews for a while, I got tired. If that's your first job, then it's hard. I know that, I read about it also on Twitter. It's quite hard to get the first job in like an iOS dev environment. Once you have your first job, the good thing is that while you're working there, and if you put that on some, I don't know, on Sing or on LinkedIn or something, then people will write to you and say like, hey, don't you want to work for us? That's what happened to me all the time. So if once you have more experience, it's actually getting easier, but the start is kind of hard. That's true. I wish you all the best. I hope it works out. Just yeah, stay behind it, and at some point it will work out. So yeah, what else I wanted to do here is I still feel the performance isn't great, and I think it could be because here we have a computed property, which means that this is going to be rerun each time it loads the selection. And instead of doing this, we could just do this once and save it, because this is going through all symbols. This is not something that changes dynamically. It's just I can create it once and then save it, and that's what we're going to do here. So the question is, can we add it to the SF symbol here? I'm not sure about that because we're not defining it here. After that, get the Führerschein. Maybe I can continue as an indie developer like you. Yeah, good luck with that. But I have to say, indie developer is hard to like make money with your own apps. I only do it because I saved a lot of money and put it on the side. I have a lot of money saved, so I gave me like 2 years, and I made sure that I have enough money for 2 years. And that's, I think, what you need if you're an indie developer, at least, to be successful, because when you release an app, it doesn't get successful on day one. It takes time to do marketing and things like that until you really earn enough money. If you can start that on the side while you're, I don't know, maybe you're studying or something, it could work out. But in general, I think it's better to start in a company, because then you also have other developers there that you can learn from. I think that's really, really important, actually. If you just start right away, as a indie developer, I think you're missing out on a lot of learnings. Yeah, and especially you're missing out on earning money. You just don't get money enough. I think you should rather work somewhere and try to do that on the side, and then maybe you earn enough money and then you can just go indie. Or you save money like I did. Okay, so this is what we did already, but I want to save this somewhere where we can access that. And I think we can't just do this like with a let. We could try, but I don't think it will work, because you can't add a stored property and we can't access self here. Let's do it like that. Oh, let's do it with a big S. I think that's going to work. This actually should fail, but it doesn't fail. Okay, so we can add stored properties to other types. That's interesting. I didn't know that. So this is a struct, and it seems to work. Kind of surprised, but let's see if it actually works. Let's run the application. I'm currently working at a company, but it's not in Germany. By the way, sorry for the interruption. No worries. That's I'm streaming, so I can have a chat with people. So it's not an interruption. Don't worry. If I didn't want anyone to chat with me, then I wouldn't stream. That's like the point. Then I would just do it privately. I think it got a little faster again. At least it can't be slower than before. So I'll keep it as is. So you're working at a company, but it's not in Germany, and you want to move to Germany? Is that basically what you're trying to do? Or are you in a place? Are you currently in Germany, but you're working for a company outside of Germany remotely? Is that a iOS developer job? Okay. Nice. This works. So we are showing. Show category icon in picker, in edit view, in edit picker, plus improve performance by improve performance render, improve render performance. Cool. Let's push that as well. So we have done this, and let's get on to the next one. So we want to implement the delete category button logic. So that's going to be this button. Currently when we press this, nothing happens, and we want to probably not delete it right away. Instead, we want to ask for confirmation by the user, and then they can say, okay, I actually really want to confirm that I want to delete. And then when they click yes, then I want to delete. Also, I just see that this is kind of getting problematic with the window size. The window also is not resizable. So the window isn't resizable. And you see, like, when we add more, let's add one more. Then I can already not click the create button anymore. So we have to make this a scrollable view. And we have to also maybe make this view resizable. Let's have a look at that. So we're in the settings view. Do we have a, yes, we have a set frame, and that's what we don't want. Instead, let's do min width and min height. Let's try now. This should fix the resizing issue. We should be able to resize now. There we go. It's also bigger at right at the start. And why can I not resize? Okay, it doesn't allow me to resize. That's interesting. Do we still have some specific view sizes here? Maybe in the app level. Check that. So no, we're not setting any sizes here. Okay, that's weird. Maybe that's why we set this min. I mean, specific sizes. Okay, then let's keep it as specific sizes. And instead, we just make sure that this is put all in a scroll view. So we have this V stack. This is the general one. And we want to do that inside of the category view. Because here we have the V stack with the text picker. This is a segmented picker. So the part that should be scrollable, I think, is the list of categories. Yeah. And the list of categories is here. And it's currently inside a V stack. Let's just put that V stack. Yeah, let's just put that into a scroll view. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, this is looking interesting. Okay, some behavior changed by putting it into a scroll view, but at least we have the create button and everything showing still. And the width of this is kind of okay, but maybe we want to add the padding inside the scroll view. The scroll view itself seems to already have a padding here. I'm not incorrect, if I'm right, because this is not showing at the top right. Okay, let me see. So we have, do we have a padding here somewhere? Not really. We have one inside of the scroll view, which should be fine. Okay, then we keep that one. But we have a problem with this thing's width. And it could be because we have an image and text. But why is the spacer not working properly? Why is this resizing? Okay, we have to set the height explicitly, I think, of this whole H stack. Max width. And let's give it a height of, I don't know, 50 or 32, I don't know. That's better, but I still don't want to have this so large. Why does this use the full height? Maybe I can set its height to be equal with the height of the icon here, which is set by the text size, which is the headline size. So how can I make the height of this view same as the height of this view? Let's try finding out height, size, default wheel picker. Okay, SwiftUI, oops. Set view height of two views to same. Okay, that was maybe not the best search. Same width or height, but it might still help. Fixed size. Frame max height. Yeah, that's what I could use, but I want to use the internal height of 1. Fixed size, or maybe fixed size helps anyways. Let me try that. Of the whole thing here. Fixed size. Horizontally, no. Vertically, yes. Let's see what that looks like. No. Not working as expected. Oops. This is not exactly what I was looking for. John Sandel has something here. Yes, I could use geometry reader, but can we not get it somehow differently? Geometry size width. Using a grid. Interesting. Oh, that's actually something that might be solving some issues for my private app. Yeah. Should consider that. Flexible, minimum 0, maximum 80. Button with preference key. All of that solution is not really what I want here. I want to have something simple, and I think actually setting the height manually is going to be the simplest way. So let's try 25. Still too much. 20. Yeah, getting close, but still higher than I want to. Let's go 15. I think it's going to be too small then. But then we know how much too small. Not that too small, actually. I think 17 should be about right. Okay, for the first version, this is fine, and I'm happy with this now being scrollable, but we don't have any padding here on the right side. Why is that? Ah, we only have vertical padding. We do want to add... where does the other padding come from? I mean, where does this padding come from? Must be somewhere up in the views. But in that case, we just need to add a padding trailing. Let's add some small padding here. For the scroll bar to have some space between the scroll bar and the delete button. That's better. Okay, now we have the scrolling list. This improves the UI here, makes it work better, and now we want to implement the delete button. I think that was what we want to work on. Well, let's document also that we put category list in a scroll view refactor. I just put it in a scroll view. That's basically what we did. Everything else was just adjusting things for the scroll view. Okay. And now we want to implement the delete button. We already have that here somewhere. There we go, delete category button pressed, and now we just have to delete it. And we already have the code for how we access the database and things like that. And we have the category here. I wonder if there's just a delete that we can call on the category. Auto-completion doesn't work, so let's go to settings, categories. To have a smaller target, then the likeliness of auto-completion working is going to be higher, but it's not building. So I'll commit this. It's building now. Now I want to go to category. Oh, I hate when auto-completion doesn't work. Okay, so let's just go via environment, managed object. Come on, auto-completion, please. I'm going to restart Xcode. I can't work like that. Let's try again. Manage. There we go. Let's try first on category. Delete. Remove. No. So in manage object context, delete object category. And then after manage object context dot save. Just going to try that. How did we do the try above? Oh, we didn't. I think we are forcing here. For save. And then when it's deleted, we want to also make sure that the list is being refreshed. So we need to reload this data. And this code actually, I want to extract it to a method because we're going to reuse it again and again. That's reload categories and groups or something like that. What was it called? Categories by groups. Categories and groups, that's fine. Reload data. Let's just call it reload data. And we're going to have the state here. That should be about it. Now we can just call self reload data here, passing the state, and the same here. Self reload data once it's deleted, and that should be it. We are now deleting the object. Let's see if that works. Okay, the app doesn't reopen. Let me rerun. Don't know what's going on. Let me stop this build. Come on. Okay, Xcode is really not going proper right now. I have to stop Xcode. I have to actually kill Xcode. Going to do a clean build now. Why is it not showing when I clean? Let me see the behaviors here. There we go. Running, building, search. Oh, there's no clean here. I wish I could show when clean starts also in big, but anyways. Let's start the build now. This one is going to take a bit longer because we're doing it from scratch. still not started. There we go. Okay, you have the list now. When I delete, it deletes. Ah, but we forgot the confirmation dialog. So it deletes right away, which is fine. We have the logic now for deleting it. But that's not what we want to do right away. Instead, we want to show a confirmation dialog. And we want to move this logic here. I'm just going to move it out and call it delete category confirmed. So that's the logic for this. Instead here we're going to do something else, but let's add this action first. Oops. Here's the actions, and we have the delete button pressed, and we have the delete confirmed, which is different from button pressed. Okay. Now in here, when the delete category button is pressed, we just want to show the sheet. So we want to have a state somewhere to show the sheet. I'm just going to call it, and also make a bindable state. Just call it show delete confirm dialog. Yeah, let's call it like that. It's a boolean, of course, and we don't show it by default. Select the group. Maybe we have to store the categories somehow, but we'll see. So we are calling this, and when this is clicked, we just change the actually maybe we just don't need that even. We might need it. Let's just change the states, show confirm dialog to true and return none. And in the view, when that is true, so we have the delete button here. I'm just going to add a confirmation dialog here. And you can see we have is presented and actions. So the localized key, I think it's like the title and things. It's presented. Is there like, yeah, there's the title. Visibility. Okay, let's just go with this, and let's just go with body crouch translate. I'm not entirely sure what this is, so let me first see. Sure or delete. I will change the text later, but it's presented, and for is presented we're using view store binding, and we're just using the case path for show delete confirmation dialog, something like that it was called. Auto completion doesn't work, unfortunately. There we go. And the actions, I think we have to provide, let me just see again, confirmation dialog. The actions is of type, okay, it's returning A. I think we can just put buttons there. Or was it confirm? Action. Well, let's just try buttons. Button. Where's the default one with title and action? Why? There's no action. Okay, wait. Confirmation item. Let's have a look at an example here. Confirmation dialog. And that's what this app is really handy at. It's just providing you some examples. You can see what this would look like. Are you sure this action cannot be undone? Yes, no. And yes, they just have this button and that button. Okay, just my auto completion isn't working. I was doing everything right. And are you sure is going to show up like as title? And the text itself. Ah, okay, I can provide a message. There we go. In that case, I am going to provide a message. And this should be translated by crouch translate. And maybe we can also add a global one here. Global. And this is maybe title. global title, global label, confirmation dialog title, confirm title, confirm title, confirm action title, something like that. And are you sure is kind of generic enough. There we go, and let's rerun body crouch again. Hope it's in the right place now. And it's replaced now, and then we have is presented. This is a key path, and then we can add the buttons here. Yes, delete, and well, let's just use cancel. So you can use the global one again, global action cancel. And I think we can add another global one. And I just call it global action delete. There we go. Last but not least, we want to provide a description, which again is going to be translated. And I think it makes sense to have a specific description here. So this is going to be about settings categories. Do we have any other translations here? Yes, settings categories. Settings categories. Dot, and then this is the delete confirm dialog dot message. Do you really want to delete this category? What's going on? This should be replaced. Is something wrong here? Ah, yeah, I was not seeing it. Let's revert it. Now it's working. Xcode doesn't refresh all the time. Works better via the build script, but it's taking too long. This is faster. Okay. So it's all translated. We have the confirmation dialog. We're showing it when this is set to true. And we have to handle these actions now. So the button, what happens when we click cancel? I think we're just going to say view store. We just don't do anything. I think by default confirmation dialog hides already. But in the case of this, we're going to say view store dot send, and we're going to send the delete category confirmed, and the category is the category we're in. And actually, we don't need the delete category pressed. We don't need the category here, I think, but let's keep it for now. I think it also doesn't hurt. Let's see what this does. Oop, I was missing the dollar sign here. Oh, failed again. This time in the reducer, because we're not handling the new case, of course. I forgot that. We have to call the delete confirmed state category. There we go. Let's also place it right below this one here. There we go. Okay, now pressing this delete asks me if I want to delete, and I can see there is a cancel action and a delete action, so actually I think we don't need to add the cancel action ourselves. Let's remove that. Let's try again. Looks like confirmation dialogues automatically have that button. And let's try again, delete. And now we have the cancel and delete. Do you really want to delete this category? Are you sure? Delete, it's gone. Design, oh, that's not the design, hello world. But it's deleting the wrong thing. I expected hello world to disappear. But it's still, oh no, it's deleting the wrong thing. Okay, how can we fix that? Or why is it happening? We are in a specific category here. When this is clicked, I think we have to make sure that we know which button was chosen for deletion. So category awaiting delete confirmation category, and that is going to be null first. And we have to set that in the action handler. I'm not sure if this is the best way, but this is definitely going to work. And I want to fix it fast. So delete category pressed, show delete confirm dialog, and category delete. What was the name of the new variable? Why is it not getting into the auto completion? Category awaiting confirmation is this category that this delete button was clicked for, and then we want to say is presented only if this is the case, and this should only happen. Can we say if here somehow? Or maybe not, maybe we just have to say this. Delete category confirmed. And it no longer needs a category. It should be clear now which category. Because this, yeah, I think that's right. Let's go to action, remove the category from here. Let's go to the reducer. Oh, wrong reducer. Let's remove the category from here too. And this will also no longer have a category. Instead, show delete, oh wait, this is the wrong place, this is the right one. Instead, we want to delete the category category to delete is state.category awaiting delete confirmation. Else we don't need to do anything if it's no longer selected for whatever reason. But this is also something that should never happen. So I'm going to add an assertion error here. Assertion failure stating there should always be a category awaiting delete confirmation when deletion is confirmed. Otherwise it's definitely wrong, but we don't want the app to crash, so I'm not using a fatal error. I'm using an assertion error failure, so it will fail when we are debugging if we ever run into this, but not for the user. And now we can pass the category to delete here. Category to delete. This should fix it. Let's see if it works now. Build is failing, still some things to adjust. Modular category. redundant type, okay. Now it's building. Let's run the app. Now in the categories, let's see if the new one is, the right one is being deleted. I want to delete the new. Yes, now it works. I want to delete white. Work. Let's make the commit. Yeah, it does work. So we have added a few translations using body crouch and SwiftGen. Now this is new. This is new as well. That's new. That is also new. Some adjustments here. So that makes sense. We have now in this commit implement the category logic and put into a list scroll view. So this is basically where they put categories in a scroll view. Let's implement delete button logic. There we go. Let me check why the music is off. I think it's just very silent. Anyway, we're going into a break now, and I'll be back in 5 minutes or so. Hello, I'm back. And welcome to the stream, Momo Gene 1907. I'll just call you Momo. And yeah, you're playing the Pokemon game first time, I see. How are you doing? So one thing I forgot to say at the start of the stream for everybody is that next week we're actually going to do an app review again, because I was asked for an app review, and everybody who has been watching for a longer time, I am doing app reviews, and you can find my older app reviews on my YouTube channel. Just look for Flying Deaf on YouTube, and you can find a playlist with indie app reviews. And you can find all my app reviews from the past, and we're going to do another one. I think it's going to be the 10th app review, because I think we have 9 here. That's 4. Oh, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Till Pod Buddy, and another 4. I think it's just 8. Okay, maybe it's not the 10th. Anyway, that's going to be happening next week. Oh, you caught Yamma. I couldn't catch it, unfortunately. I'm doing fine. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to having a walk later, because the sun is shining and I didn't have the chance to walk in the morning. So I'll be walking right after the stream. Really great weather today. How was your work day? Looking forward to your weekend now? Or do you still work? Okay, we've been making progress on the views. So we have now this screen kind of working. I could actually now create my proper categories that I want to have. So we have the review. We don't want to have that. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay, there's no views. We don't have an empty state yet. Maybe we should add an empty state. Still working. Okay, yeah, good one. So watching the stream on the side. That's nice. Okay, so we're missing a empty state. In an empty state, we can quickly find out by going here. We have a for each here for this, which is this is an array. And what we can easily do is we can just say if this is empty, we show something else. And if it's not empty, then we show this for each. Simple as that. And the for each is ending here. There you go. Now we're only showing this if the list is not empty. And if it is empty, we can just show text. For example, no categories. Create it. Yeah. Click. What's the name of the button? Click button below to create a new one. To create your first. To create one, just to create one. And this we want to translate, of course. So body crouch translate, and the key is going to be, what's the name of our keys in the settings categories? Dot. This is the categories list. Empty state message. Let's just go with categories empty dot message. And English one, we already had that, so let's just copy that. And let's add a German one as well. This is going to be noch keine Karte. Okay, let's run body crouch in SwiftUI. And there we go. Now we should also have an empty state. Let's see what that looks like. There we go, no categories created yet. Maybe we want to put it in the middle of the screen, but we could also keep it here. So we have app review, body crouch, code review. Do we add these on app start? Do we have like a seeder or something? Seed? We have a seed method here, but it's not that. Okay, let's just search for the names here. App review, for example. App review. Yeah, it's called database seeder. So we are creating these categories on App Start, and we want to change that. I mean, these are very specific to my stream, and I can now change them. But we should maybe create something that kind of makes sense for users. For example, a project could be that we automatically create that users might want to edit. Project, main project 1, main project 2, side project 1, side project 2. That's more generic, but at least you will have some projects to choose from. And the icons, maybe we just keep them, I don't know, it really doesn't matter. And I think we are also going to keep the name project. Well, we might want to localize these as well, so let's make them translated. Body crouch translate. This is database seeder. Dot project group dot name. And the English name is project, and the German name, by the way, is also project. With a K though. Okay. And the same we want to do here as well. With task type, body crouch translate, database seeder, task type, group dot name. Term name is Arbeitstyp English. Task type. And the task types and the samples also we want to translate. So body crouch translate. This is database seeder. And let's say main project category dot name, main project And we're going to use and add just a number here, like 1. Well, let's actually copy this. I think this is going to be useful here. Going to have the same. And here we're similar, but it's going to be side project, side category, I mean. Oh wait, side project category, side project category. And number 2 here, and number 2 here. That should work. And now design. Paragraph translate. This is database Cedar. This is task. Just design task type, or task type design. Design.name. Let's copy that. Then we have programming and review. It could be code review here, I don't know. Let's do it like that. Doesn't really matter. These are just samples, users can adjust them. But I think for all developers this can be kind of useful, and these also should be kind of useful, and they can adjust it, and they can also rename them as they need. Maybe we should have some more generic things here. For example, you could have, what else would you want to research, for example? Maybe that makes sense. And yeah, we have to rename these here. This is programming. This is code review. And this is going to be research. Okay, let's give this a gray, blue, green, yellow color. The icon, let's look for a nice set of symbols icon for research. Let's see if there's something. Education. Okay, let's use for research icon. So we have definitely a magnifying glass somehow. Okay, so let's do magnif. Which one? No, this looks like research to me. Yeah, that's, or this one could be also, but maybe not that much. Maybe this is more like research, going into details. So let's copy that. And, oh, wrong copy here. So rectangle and text magnifying glass, rectangle and text magnifying glass. There we go. This should be okay. So what is generic? Research is generic. Maybe paperwork. And here clearly you want to have some kind of paper or document. Let's just go with doc. And in this case we have paperwork. How is it written in English actually? Is it paperwork together? Looks like it. Paperwork. Paperwork. Okay, I think we have enough of them. These two should be also useful to others to start with, but they can delete and adjust as they want. Now let's run bodycrouch to translate all these things. And this should have replaced all the entries here. Let's see what this now, with a fresh installation of course, would look like. But we have a problem as no member data seeder. I think we have to import reason. We have it here. That's an N. I think it's just wrong. Let me rebuild. It was just not refreshed. And a Jigglypuff appeared. I still can't access, so maybe we have to import resources into model. Model, yeah, it does not import resources yet. Resources, maybe it builds now. Okay, let's check alt.database seeder. Doesn't it have it? It does have it. That shouldn't be the problem. Something else is failing. What's going on here? I think this is fine to keep long term. It's just the initial data we will have. And it says if it is 0 category groups, then on App Start it will create them. Instead of checking for empty category groups, consider if first App Start checking. But why is it failing? I'm still not getting it. Now it's building, okay. Okay, this is empty, this is not empty yet, but if we delete them all, with the current logic, the next App Start, it should actually generate all the defaults. So let me restart the app. This should now run database seeder. But it didn't. Category group, fetch request, 0. Let me see the database. And in category groups, we do have 2 category groups now, but somehow they're not showing. Is it possible that this doesn't refresh somehow? When the database seeder adds data? Because there is data. If I restart the app again, will I have data then? No. That's weird. But we do have data here. Task type and project. What about categories? No categories. That's interesting. Oh wait, yeah, the categories, the groups I can see, project and task type, obviously. They're not deleted. And I just deleted the projects. Ah, yeah. So category groups currently cannot be edited. They are currently always the same. But I can probably I can just delete my entire app by cleaning my derived data folder. Let's close Xcode for that. Continue. Let's clean everything inside of here. Okay, now when I start a project, there should actually be no app anywhere because I have not exported it anywhere. And I should have to update packages, and we should update them anyways. I think it is about time to do that. I haven't updated for a while. Let's wait for everything to check out. Nice, let's build the app now. Let's see what we will see. Okay, it's failing due to some weird things. Swift identified, okay. Sync package, let me just retry it. Let me clean first before I build. Now let's run the build. Oop, my stream is kind of hanging. And my background is looking weird. Let me fix that. Why does that happen sometimes? Okay, now the app is running. And body crouch is warning us that we have duplicate translations here, because we have translated them twice. So there's also a feature that could be added to body crouch to not do this, but we can fix it easily in this case. But we should see the task types and project now, but we don't. I guess that the database is not being deleted, so let's do that manually here. I don't know where exactly that is stored. Ah, it's not in derived data, it's somewhere else. So let's open the enclosing folder. And now we are here inside application support and open focus timer. So I'm just going to delete this now. Before doing that, let's close this. Delete. Start Xcode again. Now the database should be gone. And we should get a fresh start. So we didn't have to really clean the derived data folder in this case. Doing this would have been enough, but it's also not going to hurt the cleaning derived data folder. Let's see if there's going to be any package changes. It doesn't look like, although I'm not sure. I might have ignored the package.resolved file, which I shouldn't do, I think. Let me see. Check the git ignore. And yes, we ignore every package.resolve. We don't want to do that. Instead, we just want to ignore some of them. And which ones? Let's just remove this for now. Let's see which ones it would add. Okay, so that doesn't help. Do we have it somewhere else too? Yes, here we have the same thing. Remove that and that as well. Let's see how many it will add. So it adds this one. This is the one I want to keep. And okay, this top level one. I don't think we need that even. Don't know where that comes from. But I want to ignore just that one. How can I just ignore that one? If I do this, it will also ignore that, right? Yes. Can I say like dot slash? Yes, this works. Cool. Let's clean up. There we go. And what's going on with this? Oh, we have a fatal error. And in case when the groups exist properly. Okay. So we don't have any groups. Why? Isn't database seeder being called? Let me check. Database seeder. There's a shared one. Okay, so we need to access shared. It's seeding only here. This is not what we want. We actually want to do this on app start. So let's go to our app entry point. Do we have access to this? This is inside database seeder is inside model. So we have to have access to model on the app level. We already have access to model, that's great. So we can just say when our customer app is being called, on the call of the init method, it's pretty much the place like application did finish launching. So we can just do this and it's going to already not do anything. Oh, we need a context though. Do we have that here? Yes, we do. This person, okay, we're creating it here. Let's do self here. I prefer to have self. Self, there we go. Now it should be seeding the data. There we go. It is now starting, and we have main project 1, main project 2, side project 1, side project 2, code review, design, paperwork, programming, and research. Oh, we didn't choose a different color for research. Let's make that research, maybe brown, purple, database seeder. Our paperwork we also have. Let's make this white. And research I want to have. Oh, this is already yellow, kind of different from the others. Yeah, that's fine. Why is design gray? Design should be purple or pink. And this paperwork should be gray, right? So if I rerun the app, actually nothing should change because the database seeder seeded data, and there is no data in the database, and it shouldn't add any data. Yeah, that's fine. But we can edit it manually. We can say the color we change to pink, or let's do magenta in this case. Hello? Can you hear me now? Okay, now it should work again. How long was this the case? That's interesting. Okay, Free L Moritz asks, hi Jihad, what tool are you using to show the keyboard shortcuts you are using? No worries, I can show you that, but instead of showing the tool directly, I can point you to an article which I wrote about streaming, where I'm basically going through, let me go to this page here. So if you go to medium.com/jihad, you will find that article easily. Basically in here, you can find different articles I write, and in this one, Streaming Open Source Development on Twitch Part 2, I go through the tools that I'm using, so which software I'm using, which third-party services, and one of the things here, let me also link to that. Let me make sure to send the right link. I'm going through all the tools I use, and the tool for the keyboard shortcuts you can find here as well. And it is... You can find all the details that I'm doing here, so it's quite detailed. Keyboard shortcut. There you go. Its name is Keycaster. So you can find it on GitHub, it's open source. And yeah, but read the whole article if you want to know all the tools that I'm using. And also the description, the price, my settings, and things like that. Going really into the detail there. And also, if you're interested in streaming in general, or in making videos and things like that, there's also part 1 of this. If you click the first part here, you'll find also all my hardware. So my motivation and the hardware setup that I'm doing for my streams, including all the details and things like that, all the links that you need. Let me also catch that Pokemon. See how many Pokemon I have right now. So you can find this widget if you go to my About page on Twitch. You should see this as well. And it looks like I have 20 Pokemon right now. Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, you're welcome. That's why I'm writing these articles, so I don't have to always answer the questions again. I recently wrote an article about something that I also see many people ask. And it was just last week, like last week's article. And you can see that I wrote about hardware requirements for iOS development. That's like a beginner question, typical beginner question, which Mac should I get? And I'm basically answering that question here, and also some FAQs. So make sure to check that out as well if you're new. And also if you want to know which I'm using, which hardware I'm using, you can find it in that article, or else I also recommend the best value Mac for developers here. And this is pretty much the one I got myself as well. I just opted for the one bigger SSD because I'm streaming and I need more video space. And that's why I have 1 terabyte. But this is a bug that we need to fix now. So we're saying 2 is out of range. So it doesn't have the blue. This is interesting. So CG color components, when accessing that, if I have a gray, then it doesn't work. That's very interesting. So let's write a test to fix this. Color extension, do we have a test for that? Hey, Matt Damon, you're back, welcome. How are you doing? What did you do? Did you eat? Color extension, hex string. By the way, Momoji, you know Matt Damon, just for your information. Yeah, it's a relative. Maybe you can clarify that in the chat yourself. I had to do some work. Yeah, no worries. Stream is going to end in 50 minutes though, or 20 minutes around that, if we don't have to complete something again. But I wanna fix this bug, which is basically when you select the gray color, it crashes. But first, let's save what we had before. So we have worked on the database header. We have provided proper database seed data with translated strings, which are added to the strings file. What is this? Oh yes, we added the empty state. Moved around some package stuff, and yeah, this is all looking good. So add empty state for categories, category list, and settings, plus rework database seeding. Rework seed data. There we go. This commit does work, but there is a crash and we have to fix it. Back. Oh, Demon Witch is mad. Who could that be? Demon Witch is mad. Maybe you know that name already, but it's someone, yeah, relative. A young person who likes to play Fortnite. Maybe that will help. Okay. So I want to quickly write this down as what we have just done. Add empty state for category list, rework seed data, add feature to edit category groups, that's not done yet. Write own extension to view store binary with a more readable params, not done yet. Show color and icon categories in both picker and edit view. Show color and icon of categories, that's done. And we could fix more warnings, we have a lot of them added ourselves. But I want to fix this bug first, so let me first write it down, just in case we can't finish. Fix a bug or hex string conversion fails for gray colors. Interesting, so let me see what color this is first. We get the components, let's see what we get. We get two values. One is 0.5, one is 1.0. So I think it's relatively safe to assume that we get components here. If components.count is equal to 2. Why is this an optional? Oh, it's really an optional. If let components equals components, components.count equals 2, then RGB are basically all set to the same value, right? In this case we had a 0.5 gray, and this is the white, I think, because there is NS color. I think there is a variant where you can specify white and alpha. So we can just say we're going to create these ones here. And we can also make this more clear if components.count equals 4. And here we're not assigning anything yet. In the case it's 2, all of them get the same value. I think the fourth one is opacity, right? Should be. RGB, although when we get the components of another color, let me try that. PO, NS color. Oh, then I have a hunch, and if I'm right and he's also related to me, he will wonder why everything on Fortnite changed. Okay, NS color, I will go for red, or system red. Well, let's do red, actually. And then let's do CG color, the components. Should be 4 components. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth is opacity. Nice. Oh, we're ignoring the opacity here, so I will go for, yeah, that's still correct. And if it's 4, then we will have... We can safely assume that it's these colors. And no longer needed. For let, also this is no longer needed. And also no optional needed. I have to put an else here and an else there. In both cases we're setting it to The side point, set it to 0 like it was before. So if something fails, we just get black. Actually, stop playing. I have better things to do right now. Did you start to learn how to code? Components count equals 2. In this case, and that's the new thing, is we're going to just components always 0. Because grayscale, all these colors have the same amount and it's stored here in the first element. And this should now fix the bug. But we have no building expression unused. Else if, of course. And it's assigning twice. Now I hope I can also select gray colors. Okay, so let's edit. This is green, orange, yellow, reddish, green, yellow. I wanted to change the color of paperwork to gray. See if that works now. Just go to, I think I went here. How did I do it before? I want to do it the same way. Is it here? No. Is it there? No. I don't know, but let's just go for these kinds of grays. And it doesn't crash now anymore. Great. And it's also gray. And if I go back and other colors also work, I hope. Let's go for orange here, or some other kind of, let's use banana. Cool. So crash fixed. Fix a bug where hex string converters fail for gray colors. Grayscale, let's use grayscale colors. Did I just click? That's it. So now we have 8 minutes left. What can we do in 8 minutes? Let's have a look at some warnings. Maybe we can fix some warnings inside the project. Some of them should be easy. So let's build the whole app and see how many warnings we get and which ones we can fix. So this is saying not yet implemented. It's about error handling. Skipping them for now. Refactor this to integrate time feature directly, remove app entry point entirely. Sounds like a bigger change. Consider that on iOS there might just be one window change in me here. Okay, maybe we can actually make things work on iOS as well. Let's have a look at what the iOS app, how many build threads we have here. So maybe that's the next thing we want to do, is get the app working on iOS again. Get the app working on iOS too. Because it's not going to work right now. Requires a development team. Yeah, if we want to run on the Mac, but not if we want to run on the simulator. So there must be some build errors, because there are some things that we're using that are only available on macOS. I'm pretty sure of that. For example, settings is not available in iOS. So we have to put that into a different Let me first uncomment everything or just exclude everything that is not available on iOS. So this is only if we are on macOS. Let's only do it then. Let's try build again. And it wants me to indent. But now build is succeeding. Let's run the app. We have main window and timer window. I'm interested in what will happen now on iOS when we run with two windows. It is starting. My best guess would be it just shows the first window. But we'll see in a second. Okay, it's showing me the first window, and the first window is the main window, and the main window has currently only the sidebar. There's not much more to it. So if I change this, I also just see the sidebar, and I can't do much because the sidebar I need to navigate from somewhere else. So it just shows the first window group on iOS, which means we basically have to have entirely different logic for iOS than for macOS on this level. And I will just put this logic here for the macOS app and for the iOS app. Oh wait, let me see what this looks like on tvOS. What about an iPad Pro, for example? What happens with multiple windows on an iPad? I think it also doesn't support multiple windows right now. It might change this year at the WWDC from what I've seen in the rumors, but we'll see. Just a month left till WWDC. Really looking forward to it. Anyone excited for WWDC here in the chat? For WWDC, so Worldwide Developer Conference, WWDC, for those who don't know, this is Apple's developer conference yearly, and they basically present the newest stuff they worked on in the last year. Yep, took off work for it. Also, hi, hey, how are you doing, Megan? How's your day going? You took off work for it, so you basically blocked your time there during that week. That sounds nice. I don't know yet what I will be doing in that week. I know for sure that I'll be watching a lot of videos because I like to watch them right on time. And I am also probably going to create notes again and then post them on WWDC Notes. I don't know if you know that website, wwdcnotes.com, where you can just add new notes as well. And because I watch many videos, last year I basically posted my notes that I took for the job. I posted them here as well, so you can find quite a bit of me here as well, you can see. And I will be doing the same this year again, so I share things. And I'm documenting for myself, but then I can share it as well. Good, just got off meetings, I see. So it was a meeting full day. Do you like meetings? Like, do you one of the people who don't bother? Or are you like me who thinks like most meetings stay in the way of just doing the actual work? Is that something that you have sometimes too? But I don't know how I'm going to deal with it with the stream, because we could, in the best case, I would like to just stream while I'm watching, and I would like to watch with people together. Maybe some people want to watch together, and then we could just discuss quickly about each video I'm watching afterwards. Maybe we can try out some things in Swift Playgrounds or something like that, or set up a project, or maybe in the Open Focus Timer. But I'm not sure if we are able to, if we're allowed to stream. I'm pretty sure that we're not allowed to stream. The question is, would Apple accept it somehow or not? I haven't written them and I haven't asked for permission. And I'm also thinking about maybe streaming without showing any of the video itself or even the audio. So people who want to watch with me have to turn it on themselves, and I just have a reaction or something. But yeah, that doesn't have a great experience. I'm not sure how to deal with that. Well, for the keynote day, because I'll do a stream while it's live, I see. We have week-long in-person meetings that week, so I couldn't take off the whole week. I see. So you took off for the stream. Oh, Momo G gifted 3 months of Tier 1 subscription to Matt Damon. Wow, thank you very much for the gifted subs. Thank you very much, Momo G. Thank you. That's much appreciated. And now Matt Damon is here, a a subscriber for 3 months. That's great. What you were saying, we have a week-long, yeah, so you could only take off for the keynote. Yeah, that's also the most important, also the developer keynote, like the real keynote, in my opinion, that you should also be watching. Maybe you can also stream that while you watch that. Depends on the meeting. I think some can be useful, but some can definitely get in the way. I would say if a meeting is well organized, then actually the meeting is always great. I think it depends mostly on who leads the meeting and how they lead the meeting, but they don't always do it that well. And then let's put it that way, more than 90% of meetings I have been attending were not led very well. So most of the meetings I feel like they feel inefficient, and our time is getting over now, so I think I will stop here with the work at least, but we can still have a short chat. Yeah, so how are you going to do the stream? Do you plan to show the keynote yourself, or do you just plan to have like a reaction kind of stream? Maybe we can do something together, I don't know. It's definitely something that I would be up to. Organizational leaders are crucial to it, absolutely. But also, I feel like there is nobody is really caring about the skill to lead a meeting properly. I never heard like, hey, let's have a discussion how we can improve on leading meetings or something like that. At least not in the companies I have been in. This company is pretty good at being efficient with meetings. That's great. Then maybe it's actually fun to be there because you can talk to people. So we started this, and this is basically what we're going to continue with next time. And I can already see that I was trying to start the iPad simulator, but it did not start. I don't know why. Let me try again. So let me try a different one. Let's just try the 11-inch. I want to see what the app looks like with 2 windows on iPadOS. We do lots of feedback and finding out if meetings are worth it. We did that too, but that didn't improve the meetings. That just told us yeah, how much we liked which meetings. But really developing the skill of leading the meetings and also organizing the meetings well, it was not that easy. This is definitely looking different. So I can see the sidebar, and it has a specific set size. So this is also something we want to fix. Anyhow, we can definitely see it's things are not looking good on iOS and iPadOS, and we have to fix that. So that might be the next thing we're going to do next week in the stream. And I show the keynote smaller than me. So the main focus is my reaction or interacting with chat, but a person can still hear it and see it. Just got to take it down after cause of DMCA. So you think that's how Apple will accept it if it's just a live stream and it's basically not the main content? Yeah, I will think about that as well. I'm also thinking about if I want to post it on YouTube later or not, but maybe for like watching things live, maybe it's okay not to post it again. This is different because I'm developing an app here, and it might be useful to some people who are starters later to see like the whole process and jump around in those videos. But I can understand maybe for that. I will think about it, but we will definitely stay in contact. So that's about this stream. We didn't have any blockers, to be honest, that I can remember. Learnings also not really. One learning was just that if multiple window groups are provided on iOS or iPadOS, only the first is shown. No build error. That's good to know, because you might think that it will work, but then it doesn't. We should do a post keynote stream together. We should connect offline. Yeah, sure. Let's discuss that, because what was your YouTube again? Yeah, thank you for showing the link, Megan. Yeah, let's definitely discuss, and we can also ask for a few more people. Maybe Jeremy is also interested in doing something. He was interested in the last Apple keynote, and we actually set things up together, and then I just found out about the DMCA situation there, and then I was so motivated to do it like with a real video and watch it together, that I was then really disappointed that we can't do it that way. And he also wasn't sure and things like that, and I actually don't want to risk any rights law issues, so I think I'm going to go safe with the WWDC as well. But the discussion afterwards, that definitely is something that we could do, and I'll be totally up to it. That sounds like a great thing. So let me wrap up this stream though, because this is now coming to the end. So we worked on the Open Focus Summit part 19, and just to show for those who just joined now, maybe I can run it on the macOS again to show you what we have worked on today without going through all the points, because they're all in one place. So when we look into the app, we have worked in the settings screen, and in the settings screen we have the categories, and now you can see the list of categories. We can add new categories, for example ABC. We can choose a color like this, and then we can also choose an icon like magic mouse, I don't know, for the project, and then this project is here. You can also edit this afterwards, ABC2 for example. You can go to the task types. You can also add ones here. You can also delete ones, so I will delete this one again. And with a confirmation dialog, this is all new, and also showing the list and the edits and the icon, the color, all these things. That's what we did in this stream. So basically we improved this screen and made it work properly. That's what we did. And this is the summary document. Just as a reminder for everybody, if you didn't check out my Medium yet, I did actually write last week about hardware requirements for iOS developers. So if you're new to iOS development, you don't have a Mac yet, this is an article you might want to check out on jihad.medium.com to see what I would recommend to you. And also don't forget to follow me on Twitter if you don't do that already. I always post some tips like this one recently, and make sure to give me a follow also on YouTube if you don't. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, make sure to like this video down below. Thank you everyone who has joined in, and I will check if there's anyone we can rate. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, and thank you everyone who joined the chat. I hope you have all a good day and a nice weekend to you all. Next week I'll be back, and next week we're actually going to do an app review again in the morning stream at 11 a.m. So watch out for that as well, and join in next week at 11 a.m. on Friday. See you there, and have a nice day. Bye.